What's up, fam? What's up, soul fam? It's your boy. It's your girl. Divine Feminine. Sometimes light, sometimes dark. I consider myself dark. But, that's what happens when you're like born in the dirt and fucking grow up and in hell and shit. But, you know what's funny? Is I didn't even realize how much I didn't realize how much darkness was around me. You know, I think I just assumed so many good things about life or the world that assumption kept me protected in a lot of like like the most random of ways did it protect me from things that were like literally happening to me without my conscious awareness of. What a blessing. Ready, let's roll something new. Somebody told me you had a boyfriend, looked like a girlfriend that I had in February of last year. It's not confidential. I said, baby, baby, I just don't know. I just want to get this red thread out of there. Cause all I wanna do is something. You had a boyfriend, looked like a girlfriend. I had in February last year. Not confidential. I've got potential. Who is that? Who the fuck was that? Do y'all love Breaking Benjamins? Breaking Benjamins. Yeah, it's with an S. If it wasn't with an S, it'd just be like some guy named Benjamin. I did it too tight. I couldn't get my fingers. I'm just so excited. Today is a day of days. Even in the forest with my critter friends. Usually you just like roll it out right away. Pick up your feet. No. I don't want it. Is my tea ready? Mom. Mom! Where are my fucking waffles? I wanted the square kind. There's not enough butter on it. Almost ready. I had to heat up some more water because it only filled this thing up halfway. My depth perception via water, via milliliters, clearly off. Sometimes get the goat, and sometimes goat gets you. One thing you don't want to do is you don't miss the bear. Never miss the bear. Nah, y'all, don't kill bears. For real though. Bears are God's creatures too, you know what I'm saying? You can make friends with bears. I mean, they're not very friendly from what I understand, but back in the day, when we were all kind of like, when we had Grace, before the fall from Grace, I'm pretty sure we all got along pretty easily. It wasn't until, you know, we thought we were naked that, like, animals started to fear us. And rightly so, because we're like, what the fuck? You gotta add your honey. Mom, this honey's too slow. Ah. You're supposed to do this part. Make me miss fucking Call of Duty. Yeah, so I was doing a video earlier, and in the middle of the video, I smelled something burning, and I looked around, I didn't see it. The tent's pretty small. I didn't see it, and then it was still smelling like that, and I looked around, and this chair was on fire while the video was going. I was like, something's on fire. Gotta go. It's funny because I was talking about a lot of hellfire in that video, so it's kind of synchronistic in a way. Like those people. Oh my gosh, it's so annoying when well, not super annoying, but it's a little annoying when tarot readers or whatever, they're like, I cannot make this up. I can't. I could never. I corrected at least this one time. I was like, well, I mean, you could make it up, technically. I mean, if you're being honest, though, just say you didn't make it up. You know, that would be more fair. Because, you know, humans have imaginations. We're very creative. In fact, did you know children are all geniuses because of their predisposition as children? Yeah, they did a study. Wall Street did a study on children because they were trying to get more geniuses on Wall Street. So they paid for a study to figure out, like, you know, how they do that, and like the study basically took a sample of a bunch of kids at the youngest ages or something like that, and tracked them through school and stuff, and they were all testing, like, I think it was in the 90th percentile, like 90 something percent at like the youngest grades, and every few years it dropped a whole bunch, went from like 90 to 60 to like 30. And that's our Western education for you, folks. It's a scam. It's not what it pretends to be at all. It's just they're fucking glorified slave-making babysitters. And then there's a lot of good teachers too. I love them. You know, a lot of teachers give so much. You know what I mean? The good ones are amazing. But when my kids were in school, it was like every other year. It'd be like one good teacher and one terrible teacher. Like one who would, like, half of her foot was out the door and just didn't give a fudge. So yeah, that's what I was kind of right there with you guys, dealing with that bullshit. Trying to give Adderall to my kids just because they had energy. See, that's the schools, that's the education system. What do they call it? They call it something in the church when they have a grip, like whether it's the principality or the kingdom of heaven. They have a stronghold. So they have a stronghold in education and medicine. Western medicine is also, like, dominated by them. And it has been ever since Rockefeller. Rockefeller consolidated it way back when. But he basically, it's like owning all the news media and being able to monopolize that and like make them all say whatever you want to say. That's basically what happened with Western medicine. Without, I guess, everyone knowing, I mean, the information's there. The obviousness is really there if you look. You get outside your bubble. But nobody really does that. We assume the best. And we're not educated. You're not supposed to educate the slaves, obviously. And we're not. They don't teach us. They teach us about memorizing shit and like all right brain bullshit. Which doesn't compare to EQ, which is left brain like. I love it. I never would have called myself a feminine anything. Almost all my life, you know, I was emasculated by my sister and my mother. The women in my Mexican family, they were masculines too. I don't think they even knew that. I didn't know it, but yeah. So they would emasculate men or boys for being feminine, and it was not cool because there's a lot of women who are divine masculine. There's a lot of men who are divine feminine. It's not about sexuality. It's just about the association, the strength of association with the brain, the left or the right side. That's. Some people are like, "Oh, I'm like real even, real split down the middle," and maybe they are, but that undermines my whole theory about everyone being one or the other. Someone find out for me. You know, someone fact check that. That's true or not? I'm pretty sure it is. And they say opposites attract. So it usually is. Like, if it's like this gay chick who's like she's masculine, divine masculine, whatever. You usually don't see two of those together. You see like a masculine with a feminine, whether they're both girls or not, or it goes for guys and girls relationships. You know what I'm saying? I met this homeless dude the other night. He was talking about his one of his old girlfriends, and he said she was buff as fuck, you know, because she had to move her mom's piano all over the house or some shit like that. So she started working out, and he said she would throw me around all over the place. I loved it. I thought it was really funny. I don't think he realized how funny that sounded, or if he knew he was a feminine, a divine feminine, or you know what I mean, wounded feminine. We're all divine because we're of the divine. So that's fair to say. Even if you are wounded or extremely traumatized, we want to honor, we want to address what's most real about us inside, and that's the part that can't change. That's the part that can't be hurt, can't change, and you can't change its value. And it's the realest part of us. You know, it's not the surface bullshit that everybody else decides is true about us before we even get to know ourselves. Same for our parents. Wouldn't that be nice if our parents, like, when they're kids, when we were born and, you know, were growing up, instead of them telling us who we were gonna be and who we were supposed to be and who not to be, they were like curious folk, and they were whole and heal, and they took the time to just get to know who their child was. You know, who are you? You know what I mean? Let me help you know yourself, because we're all reflections. We're all like mirrors, reflecting each other back and forth. That's how children get to know anything about themselves. If they don't have anyone around, which happens a lot, it's really sad. It's really hard for them to develop any sort of any decent sense of self-awareness. Not to mention if they're like, their parents are like terribly traumatized themselves, then they just reflect that back to the kid. I had basically a common law marriage for almost 20 years with this girl named Michelle. And her genesis with her parents, or her mom, was devastating. It was heartbreaking. You know, her mom was just, dealing with what her mom gave her. It just goes on and on. But Michelle didn't escape so much abuse that she remembered a good grip of it. And our relationship was a testament to exactly all that. All that shit that had damaged her. She knew she had borderline personality disorder. That was official. But I didn't know she had NPD as well. Narcissistic personality disorder. I don't know why she would want to deny it but because if you care about yourself, you want to know the name of the thing you have so that you can actually deal with it better, treat it better. You don't want to hide, pretend you don't have it or hide it from yourself. Oh my God, I didn't even understand. I didn't even know what narcissism was. Not really. I should have. My dad gave me this book when I was 15 or 16. It was about borderline personality disorder. And it was called I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. So that's what I knew about narcissism. It was this really paradoxical disposition of toxicity. Yeah, but he got divorced 4 times, and then he kept dating. I don't think he got married again after that, because not that he learned his lesson. Can I tell you what his problem was? I could see his problem clearly years ago, before I had fully healed, or before I'd even started healing. And it was that he chose every woman he married, chose her based on the surface. Almost like the parent thing with the kids. They don't take the time to know who a person is on the inside. Choose a person based on who they are inside. Not because they're the hottest. That's shallow. If he would have gone the other way, he would have married once. And he'd still be married. Hey, but that just goes to show we can learn from our parents' mistakes. Even if it takes about 40 years of suffering in them. Mm-hmm. But learn from my mistakes and address your issues as early as you can. There's nothing to be afraid of. And you don't know what you don't know, so you might be able to help yourself in your whatever you're dealing with so much more than you could ever imagine, because it goes both ways. You don't know what you don't know about negative shit and positive shit. Shit salads and shiitake mushrooms. I'm reaching. This is cinnamon, and it's dude, I keep kicking that thing every time I go by. Probably because he slides. Oh, okay, it's cardamom cinnamon. Cinnamon, ginger, cardamom. Hold on. It says cardamom cinnamon on the front. But right below it, it says cinnamon, ginger, and cardamom. with an M instead of an N. Is that a typo? That seems like a typo. I think it's called cardamom. Cardamom. Hey, someone Google that for me. My phone is not dead, but I gotta go get service again today. Cause Mint has like half off or whatever, like 3, 6, or 12 months, and I'm paying $65 a month right now for like unlimited. But I could get unlimited for like $45 for 3 months. And now I'm advertising for Mint Mobile. Me and Ryan. That's what's up. Divine. He's divine. He's definitely divine feminine with his charisma. I was calling myself, it was Soul Tribe Wolverine, because I identified as masculine for most. I didn't want to be associated as feminine. But then when I came to understand all the more details of spirituality and stuff, and the left brain, right, but just how it all intermixes, I was like, okay, Soul Tribe Deadpool Wolverine, because we're all masculine and feminine. And if you've seen the movie between them and you've seen the part where they're like, it was perfect. It's like literally a vision of the story of humanity. You know, like the prophecy is that divine feminine heals herself, and in turn is able to hold the space for divine masculine. Wounded masculine. We'll put it in terms of a wounded, different states. So wounded feminine heals herself and becomes divine feminine, and in turn, wounded masculine reaps the benefits. And why would she not share? You know, that would be selfish. Not that being selfish isn't good, but like micro selfish. Do you know what I mean? Because we're all one. We're all connected. I define myself as everyone and everything. So when I see any part of me that's hurting, whether it's inside or out, I'm only serving myself by serving the other parts of me that need love, that need presence, that need just patience and understanding, just maybe just one person to hold the space of love, of a loving attention. It's extremely powerful in and of itself. Even though there's like so many modalities that people engage in for healing and stuff like that. You know what's a weird one that I see a lot? Reiki. It's got a cool name and all like that. I like the idea of it, but it just seems so goofy and silly. And they even do it on YouTube. They're like, doing it through the phone. It's strange. Can someone find out for me if that's a scam, or if there's like some substance to it? That would be great, because I would learn it. I would have learned it already. Probably I would have looked into it if it didn't seem so silly. And I don't feel anything. I'm not a super They say I'm sensitive, and empaths are. I am sensitive to some things, but like, I didn't feel anything from Reiki through YouTube. I felt it through I felt the tarot. Tarot readers would be like telling me the stories of my life. Freaking channelers would be like literally going into the details of shit that like is so personal to me, and only spirit could be telling them. Some spirit had to be sharing these messages with them, and then them conveying them on their channels to whoever needs this message. But yeah, God talks to us in all ways, if you know what I'm saying. So YouTube and Instagram and TikTok are just another way for God to speak to you if you ask the right questions. I mean, careful though, because like once you realize, or once you start getting answers to like some incredible, like crazy questions, you find that this universe is nothing but miracles and magic. Yes, magic is real. Then you get a little obsessed. Get a little obsessed with it, especially when like you change, when you actually really change something inside you as you're trying to heal. And for example, let's say you beat yourself up for using drugs, whatever they are, meth, weed, alcohol. They all have benefits and they all have drawbacks, like they all have major drawbacks, but they all have benefits too. So we know why we all use them as maladaptive coping mechanisms. But society has been trained to guilt trip the fuck out of everyone who is coping with these mechanisms. Not being sensitive to the fact that like we're getting a sense of relief, we're getting a sense of peace. You know, they don't know what's going on inside and why we're doing what we're doing in the first place. And most of the time we're not articulate enough or self-aware enough to explain that to anyone. Not that we should have to, and we don't have to. Never explain yourself to anyone. I don't care who it is. Grandma. But still, my point is that drugs are bad. No. Drugs are good and bad. I should say the drugs that I took were a lesser of two evils, and they were. I started using amphetamines because I started drinking and driving again about almost 10 years after I'd already had a second DUI, and about 10 years after that, I started drinking, drinking to a point where I became scared of what was going to happen next, and if things would have continued on the trajectory they were, I'd have died in jail, I'd died in prison, not jail. Well, I hear prison is better than jail because you're there for longer term, but I'm just too pretty, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty charismatic, you know. I probably would have won him over. God would have kept me safe, but in my imagination, in my mind, that would have been the end for me. You know, a lot of people kill themselves in these places too. Like, anything could happen. But what we were talking about, started using methamphetamines, and it saved my ass from getting that DUI. I didn't drink at all. You know, when I was using that, when I was like using that, like I say like medicine, and it is medicine. It's given to millions of Americans every year as Adderall. It's the same drug as what all these drug addicts are using on the street. All these prescribed people are walking around, you know, no one's giving them a hard time. It's the same thing. So like, why? It's a double standard I insist be changed. We can't criticize and condemn all the people on the street using these medicines, and it's a medicine. Just because it's a street version of it doesn't make it not a medicine. We can't criticize these people as trash and light and worthless for being drug addicts. And yeah, we change the words to guilt trip them and to make ourselves feel better, even though it's like all these people around us are prescribed on the same stuff. Just because it's in a pill form doesn't make it any better. It's the same effect. hypersexuality turns you gay. No, no, they do call it gay dope in rehab in Dallas, Turtle Creek. I got there at 37 years old, first time. It was a miracle. I'll tell you the story another time. Right now, I gotta go. I gotta go get this new phone. It's one of them. It's a new flip phone, right? Like it's not. I'm gonna go get a flip phone. It's not one of the old ones. That new one where like the glass bends or some shit. It probably breaks super easy. I'm not gonna regret this, but I might.
It is possible.
Anyways. Hold on. Yeah. Back to color. Anyways, I just want to thank you for your being here and giving me your attention. I don't take that lightly, and I will never lie to you unless I think you are the devil. And then I'll just probably, I won't mislead you, I just will not share, the deepest, most personal things that I would with, someone who is a safe person. A safe person is someone who isn't trying to trigger you low key or high key either. And yeah, if it's your mom or your grandma or like your family members or your girlfriend or boyfriend who's like trying to, you notice that they like to push your buttons. They like to trigger you. They're not a safe person. That's not a safe person. Get to safety. Being homeless, being cage free like I am, is a better alternative. It literally, a better alternative than staying in that situation, because you could kill them, they could kill you, you could kill each other, and in front of your children. Or watch that movie, The Roses. It's like a remake kind of War of the Roses with Michael Douglas, and I just remember it was him and I think it was Diane Keaton, the V.I. Wachowski chick. They just went to war in the house. But the new one is good. The Roses, oh my god, it was so good and so heartbreaking at the same time, because I could relate. They had 2 kids and I had 2 kids, and like the guy just couldn't let go of that one. I don't want to spoil it for you. You got to go see it. But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful and fucking heartbreaking movie, and funny too. But because it's derivative of life. It's a story of us. It's a story of our lives, in comedic and a dark comedy portrayal of it. But I enjoyed it a lot, even when I was crying and like making it about myself. It's all about us, though, isn't it? We are all one, anyways. So, and it's okay to be selfish. Selfishness is a virtue, as Ayn Rand said. But the thing is, find out who you are. You know what I mean? At the deepest level, like, know thyself, right? Part of that is knowing your deeper self, your spiritual self, and that self. There's no separation between one thing or another. Everything is connected, and all things are in and of the Most High. So, in that sense, we're very lucky, because we're always safe, even if we think we're not, which is part of the fun. The veil of forgetfulness, the eternal life, different worlds, different planets, 4 billion years here. When I was in Abilene, Tom Green, he did some numerology and calculated based on my name that my soul was like 3.9 something billion years old. I was like, cool. I couldn't do much with the information except just remember it, and quote it every once in a while. But I didn't know that it was true until all these other pieces of the puzzle came together. Some of those being other people in Abilene who were friends and connected to me. These 3 people. One I went to school with in high school, and another I worked with, and then Tom came. They knew Tom, but yeah, Cassandra was like, "Oh, these are my spiritual parents." These are my spiritual parents. I didn't understand what she meant, but I totally do now. In fact, I mean, it's crazy. She says she knew me from this other lifetime, which was so cool because it's like we were all getting reconnected. But I didn't know enough to know exactly how true she was speaking, and she was like kind of a half practicing Wiccan. Oh my God, there's so much awesome shit that's happened throughout my crazy life story. But I gotta go. I gotta go get this phone. Gonna flip. I'll catch you on the flip side of my flip phone. Flip.